Welcome back, everybody.
Hi!
Today is the 14th of July. It's either going to be a very bad day for England or a very good day. We'll see.
Euros 24. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, so it's a Sunday, we weren't going to cruise today. It's our least favourite day to cruise. But we checked the weather for tomorrow and it looks atrocious. It's supposed to be summer.
Well, in the afternoon I think it's not very nice. So
Oh, it's right up until 11, which won't give us enough time to get to where we need to be. Got to do 11 miles and 7 locks. But today we're going to split it. We're going to do the 7 locks today and Blisworth tunnel, which is the first tunnel we ever did in Olive.
Drippy.
Yeah, from what I remember it's very wet. Or was it Boston? I don't know. But yeah, we're going to cruise to Blisworth and find somewhere to moor up. There's quite a few pubs we've got to go for us today.
They'll all be there, getting ready for it.
Yeah.
It's not till 8 o'clock, so...
Yeah, it's about 4 o'clock now, so we've got 4 hours to get through Stoke Bruerne and Blisworth tunnel. Not a very good spot there. It's alright if you only have one boat coming at a time, which most of the time you will, and there's only about 16 boats today. But three times
there's a really overhanging tree.
3 times boats going opposite directions met at us directly, and I was like, what are the odds of this? So
we had a stag, but there was 11. No word of a lie, there was 11 guys.
We're back in the range of
boat.
ABC boats,
and they were just on the other side of the canal. I said, I went out the front. Oh, there is 3 out reverse guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, he's not a very good driver.
They're about to head on collision.
Oh, they're fantastic lads. They were really nice lads. Had quite a laugh with them.
Yeah,
but 11, I don't know where they sleep on there.
On the floor, yes. So yeah, the weather's alright today. It's still pretty cool, it's pleasant, you know.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, we're gonna head through 7 locks, find somewhere to moor up, and then watch the football, and then continue in the morning tomorrow. So you'll see if we win on it. Well, you know, if we win on it. We'll see.
You will know because this is a few weeks ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, let's enjoy the cruise.
So this is the map of the UK Canal network. Everything in red is what we've cruised before, and we're here down on the Grand Union Canal at Bridge 56, where we will set off towards Stoke Bruerne and the lock flight there of 7 locks. We'll make our way up that flight and then onto Blisworth Tunnel, which is one of the longest and wettest on the network. We'll head through that and come out the other side at Blisworth before reaching Gayton Junction, the junction with the Northampton arm of the Grand Union, and then we moor up just past that. We're going to cruise about 6 miles and 7 locks. Up this little arm here, which is used for mooring, is actually the River Tov, and the Tov comes in here and I believe it crosses the canal, but in times of a lot of rain this section can actually go on flood even though it's a canal. We're at the bottom of the Stoke Bruerne flight now, and there is a water point here also with rubbish and an Alsan point. So this is Stoke Bruerne flight, and there's something quite interesting about this. Well, they were duplicated, just like Blisworth, in 1835, and this was for a counter-reaction of the railways. So they tried to put in extra locks to help the canal move faster and less queues, but it didn't really last very long, and these locks were actually built as wide beam locks, which was interesting because one of the Blisworth flight, they were narrow locks, but here they went for wide beam locks. But they didn't last very long, as I said, and no one really knows when they were out of use, but it's presumed that it was the 1860s, so only about 30 years or 25 years. There's a good stretch of Armco between locks 16 and 15 here in Stoke Bruerne. Quite a nice place to moor, just outside the village.
Pure white air.
As you can see by this double bridge here, this is really the only remains of the duplication locks, although the duplicated lock is quite preserved next to this one. Stoke Bruerne is also a good place to stop off if you like your pubs. There's a pub below the lock, the Navigation, which has 4-star reviews, and there's a pub above the lock, the Boat Inn, which has 4.5 star. And there's also, if you like your takeaways, an Indian takeaway here. I tried to convince Mum to get one, but she wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
Come on, England.
We just got to find a nice spot. Oh, okay.
We're just going to try and find a nice spot and watch it.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
See you, mate. Yeah, he's from the creek. Right, so we've made it up Stoke Bruerne flight, and we're just about to go into Blisworth Tunnel for the second time. It's our second time doing
People
it.
in the pub.
Yeah, everyone's getting ready for the football in 2 hours.
Getting ready for the football.
Yeah. It's about to kick
And we
off.
just met a lovely guy that we met in Crick Show.
Yeah. It's a really nice guy.
Chickadee, isn't it? Chickadee is I think. Lovely guy. Nice to see you again.
3,000 yards this one is, one of the longest tunnels. Not longest obviously, you've got Standard which is 2,000 yards longer at 5,000 yards.
You have put the light on, haven't you?
Yes. All lights are on inside, headlight is on. Asked the high boat if anything was coming, and apparently not, so
Just the stag party's gone through, I think.
yeah. Just see a little dot of light at the other end. But you can take 2 boats through here, but remember the last time I went through a tunnel with another boat coming the other way, it didn't end well, did it? Let's do it.
Always been cold.
But firstly, before we continue through the Blisworth Tunnel, I want to talk about today's sponsor, EcoWorthy. About a month ago or so, we had to sadly scrap the van, which meant we had to take the stick-on solar panels off. And we put these on the boat for extra solar, but we wanted a couple of extra batteries to store this extra solar. And that's when EcoWorthy got in touch with me and asked me to do a collaboration with them on this beautiful battery here, the 100 amp hour lithium EcoWorthy battery. When we first got the boat, we spent over £500 on lead acid batteries, which lasted about a few months before they were gone. And they took hours and hours and hours to charge, wasting hundreds of pounds in diesel. Eventually we made the switch to lithium, which was very expensive at the time, and we bought Renogy batteries, which were about £500 a piece, but they were self-heated. And now you can get this 100 amp hour lithium battery at the moment for £220, but you can get it cheaper than that with the discount code, which is JOSH10 for, of course, £10 off. The only downside is it's not self-heated, because below 5 degrees, if you try and recharge a lithium battery, you can damage it. But we have quite a cheap solution to this problem. The battery also has a lot more cycles than your regular lead acid battery, at 3,000 plus cycles and a 10-year lifespan. The other thing is a lot less resistance when you're charging the battery, which means it can charge up to 80% in 1 hour of charge, and a lead acid can only do 20% in an hour of charge. You also get the extra benefit of it being only 10 kilograms, which weighs about a third of your regular lead acid battery.
Well, that's the new lithium battery we got from EcoWorthy. They've been going a long time, EcoWorthy. If I remember, when I first bought the boat, I was looking at EcoWorthy equipment. But everything's coming down in price now. Originally these were about 450 quid, but they're down to about 200 quid now, I think, are they, Josh?
One of the cheapest ones you can get on Amazon, so
One of the cheapest batteries now on Amazon.
almost the same price as a, lead acid.
So don't get a budget one, just get an EcoWorthy, because at least you know it's got a good name on it. But what I do is I use these, and these are foot warmers or hand warmers you can get off eBay or Amazon, and a polystyrene box that the battery comes in. So I put a pad down each side. Uses hardly anything. I think they're about 0.5 of a watt each, but we tested this out in the van and it worked very well. So what I bought is one of these. You can get them from anywhere. This is a USB that you can plug or connect straight to your battery, if you can see. So well, it is very light wire. You don't need any expensive wire. So I've got my neutral, my ground, and my live. That goes into a little box and a USB. So you can plug these directly into the USB. They stay on all the time. There's no thermostat to worry about, but they don't use much electric. Nothing at all. So it's nothing to worry about, but it'll keep your battery from freezing or going down below, because these warm up to about 10 degrees. It keeps the battery at about 10 degrees, which is perfect. But the battery will power itself. So it will go on there, sorry, get the right way round. That will go on there and go on there. And this, I'm touching it now, see, no problem. This will start warming up those now and keeping your battery nice and warm. So there's a way around that, but we're also putting in a switch so I can switch them off. If it gets really, really cold, I can isolate the batteries on this side of the boat. Whereas the others I don't have to worry about because they've got their own heating jackets on built into them. And what I like, it's a smaller footprint as well. It's not as big. If you look at some other lithium batteries like we've got over there, they're huge, but this is nice and small, so you can do anything with it. That would be ideal in the boat as well, wouldn't it, with the electric motor, because it's light and it's small. So the other battery that I had in here, the lithium, would fill this box. Oh, it's so much better, isn't it? I'm really pleased with that because there's so small room. That new battery is all heated now and looking after itself. And like I say, you can unplug the heaters if you don't want them on, but they don't use hardly anything.
We've been using the battery for a couple of weeks now, and I tell you what, it's been absolutely brilliant. And honestly, just go straight for lithium batteries, and these are some of the cheapest and best quality on the market. You don't want to go for a really cheap Chinese one. This is your best bet. If you'd like to upgrade your narrowboat batteries, head down to the link in the description to buy your own eco-worthy battery today. And of course use the discount code to get £10 off. So of course this is Blisworth Tunnel, the 7th longest tunnel on the Canal network. That is of all canal tunnels, but it is the 3rd longest canal tunnel that is still navigable at 3,076 yards. But it is the longest broad canal tunnel and is 143 feet below ground, which makes it crazy to think that William Jessup proposed a flight of locks instead of a tunnel. That would have been a big flight to gain 143 feet. But James Barn, who was a resident engineer, insisted on a tunnel, and I think that was the right idea. But then again, a flight would have been a lot quicker to make. But the water to supply it, I don't know. This tunnel was completed in 1805. Believe it or not, work began all the way back in 1793. But errors made by the contractor left a wiggle in the tunnel, and after 3 years of work, it collapsed due to quicksand, claiming the lives of 14 men. It was then decided to build a new tunnel. It is very sad though, 14 men died building this tunnel for us. And if you believe in that sort of thing, the ghosts still could be lurking in this tunnel now.
Wet one. Oh, God. Jesus!
And by 1800, the entire Grand Junction Canal was finished, except for this section here, from Stoke Bruerne to Blisworth, thanks to this tunnel, and the bit over the Great River Ouse, thanks to the trouble with the aqueduct. Even though the tunnel was under construction for 7 years, this was a bloody nightmare for the navvies this tunnel to build. But they had a temporary solution to this as well, which was to put in a horse-drawn tramway over the hill, which would be transported by boats to wagons and then back again. The tramway was built in 18 and was Northamptonshire's first ever railway. By the time that the tunnel was finally finished in March 1805, the railway was taken off and used to connect the Grand Union Canal to the River Nene at the Northampton arm before it was built.
She's going to get so...
Yeah. Oh my God! That wasn't too bad.
But by the 1980s, the tunnel became unnavigable due to changes in the shape of it. This is probably because of collapses above the brickwork that made it slope. I don't know if it actually properly collapsed, but they had to rebuild a lot of the tunnel using sections lined with precast concrete rings. It was used to test out the materials that were later used in the Channel Tunnel. I have a feeling that flag is going to be down very, very soon. If we come the other side of the tunnel, we got Blisworth, which is slightly bigger than Stoke Bruerne and has one pub, the Royal Oak. It's also got a Premier, so you can stock up on a few groceries, and actually has a Thai restaurant as well. I have never seen a branch this big in a canal before. It was like a whole tree almost, but it was floating. It was so big that when we crashed into it, it hit against the ABC boat. Who knows where this came from? It went underneath the entire boat, but luckily didn't hit the prop.
Oh my god. Jesus. It's a massive, great big branch. Where'd that come from?
That's not good. I can remember in Holland we used to sometimes visit.
There's the facilities point at Gayton Junction. You got water there, Alsan and rubbish again, but you do have to turn down there and then reverse back out, which is kind of awkward. But that is the Northampton arm, which obviously goes down to Northampton and joins to the River Nene, which I would have loved to go back onto the River Nene for summer holidays again, because I knew it would be very, very quiet, but it costs money because you have to have an EA license for that river. It's not owned by the CRT, so unfortunately the Ashby was the quietest place nearby that I could go to. It was getting dangerously close to kick-off now, and we started to make dinner, and Mum had to have a shower, so we decided to moor up here, but there was another boat coming, and he had the exact same idea. This has never happened before. Someone's tried to moor up in the exact same spot, but we managed to get in first, and this sort of kicked him out, and he went all over the place and got grounded on the other side. but he did vanish the moor up behind us. Now, let's go inside and watch the football, but we all know what happened, don't we? Yeah. Anyway, see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe,